All right, here we are, part 3, the Pneuma of Charlie Kirk, miasma, warfare, and the sovereignty of breath. This is a 8-part series. We're at part 3. I am Abe Zucca. These are my writings. You can check out my art at zuccagallery.com. You can come into my gallery in downtown Phoenix at 1301 Grand. Google the name Abe Zucca. Check out my social media accounts. But let's begin our reading for tonight. The wind body, the 2 hands of breath. Tranquility and insight across inhalation and exhalation. Mindfulness, one breathes in, mindful, one breathes out, mindful. The breath is the wind element made intimate. The finger points to the moon. The finger is not the moon. The breathless self. The breath itself. Not sensation, not concept, the pure in and out. Breath is not the sensation of breath. The sensation is only the finger pointing, while the breath is the moon, intangible, continuous, unintermittent. The subtle oscillation never actually disappears. To attend to the breath is to disentangle the wind element from flesh that registers its contact. It is to learn that the breath is always present, even when the body ceases to feel it. When physical sensation fade, the immature practitioner thinks breathing has stopped. The mature practitioner knows what vanishes is only the coarser texture of touch, not the wind itself. I am Abe Zucca. This is the Pneuma of Charlie Kirk, written by me, read by me. Check out my art at zuccagallery.com. Mindfulness of breath is the art of tracking the invisible, knowing the movement of what cannot be grasped by touch. Breath is the teacher who withdraws its coarse signs so that the student may learn from its subtle signs. Of the 2 hands, tranquility, insight as complementary limbs of wind. Tranquility and insight are 2 hands of the same wind body, distinct, asymmetrical, but belonging to the same organism. To force tranquility before insight is like forcing a child to write with the wrong hand. Development becomes twisted, unnatural. Twilight arises simply from observing impermanence in the breath. Its arising, its duration, its sensation, its cessation, its small gap, its resumption. Each inhalation, a miniature doctrine of momentariness within duration. Tranquility arises from cultivating the subtle pleasure of presence, the gentle delight of not wandering, the soft joy of being aligned with the inhalations. Insight sharpens the wind, tranquility softens it. Awakened practice uses both simultaneously. Long and short, the turner's lathe, the measure of wind, the investigative mind. Long and short breaths are not prescriptions but inquiries. Mindfulness begins by asking, is this breath long or is it already short? The point is not to produce long breaths, but to understand the breath's length as a changing phenomenon. Long becoming short, short lengthening with calm. The mind that gauges length cultivates investigation. The mind that releases length cultivates tranquility. Thus, the first steps already reveal the two-hand method. The turner's lathe metaphor teaches not rigidity. Sometimes one intentionally takes a long breath to reground attention. At other times, one allows the breath to reveal its own length. Wind is measured not by rulers, but by curiosity. The breath length is a cone to prevent the mind from sleepwalking. If you guys have any questions, this is a continuation of Fractal Islam, Unborn Levels of Scientology, and the Closed System of Stalin. This is part 3 of an 8-part series of the Pneuma of Charlie Kirk, the sovereignty of breath, the whole body, wind filling the vessel, body as field of impermanence. Experiencing the whole body is not the breath permeating the body, but the body being known as a single field through which breath passes. Whole body awareness is the shift from the narrow beam of attention to peripheral receptivity, a move from analysis to embodiment. As attention softens into the whole body, one begins to sense the mind element as energy rather than mechanical airflow. Breath becomes movement rather than object. Whole body mindfulness is the bridge from anatomical knowing to elemental knowing, from posture to flow, from body as object to body as process. The shift to whole body awareness is the first true entry into the wind body, the somatic condensation of impermanence. Calming the wind from coarse motion to condor stillness. Calming bodily activity is not breath control, but the natural quieting of the inner winds when attention stabilizes. As the condor stops flapping and begins to glide, so too the practitioner transitions from effort to effortless attunement. Calming the breath is not a project, but a consequence. Tranquility arises from alignment, not manipulation. The calmer the wind element becomes, the more precise insight becomes. Impermanent perceives not in dramatic waves, but in micro motions. Stillness is not the stoppage of breath, but the refinement of motion. The body becomes a vessel of the quiet wind. Investigations. Concept, non-concept, the middle way of noticing. Concepts such as long, short, whole body, calming, or training wheels for attention. They are invoked briefly, then dissolved. The danger is conceptual fabrication. The skill is conceptual prompting followed by perceptual immersion. Investigation is the antidote to autopilot. The breath length becomes a question, not a measurement. Investigation reveals that some steps require focus, others require openness, whole body. The practice oscillates like the breath itself. The wind body is known through investigative fluidity, shifting modes of knowing as conditions shift. Impermanence. Wind as dharma, wind as doctrine, breath as teacher. Breath is the clearest bodily embodiment of impermanence. It arises, endures while changing, ceases, rests, then begins anew. Impermanence is in early Buddhist understanding is not instantaneous annihilation, but flow. Durational change, not infinite micro-collapse. Each inhalation is a lesson in arising. Each exhalation a lesson in dissolution. The gaps are the thresholds of becoming. To observe the breath's changing natures, to study the Dharma as it unfolds in real time. Breath is the Dharma made tactile. It is the wind that teaches impermanence without uttering a single word. Mindful return, the gatekeeper, the pleasant tone, the present moment. The basic practice, mindful one breathes in, mindful one breathes out, is the ever-returning home, the gate through which all 16 steps pass. Each time the mind wanders, one returns smilingly, not with correction, but with friendliness. Attention to the breath is supported by the subtle pleasantness of presence. Without cultivating the hedonic tone, attention slips away. Mindfulness acts as a gatekeeper. Desire and aversion cannot enter the present moment without its permission. Returning to the breath is the archetype of returning to oneself. Wind as refuge, wind as homecoming. The wind walker, walking meditation as a moving body of impermanence. Walking meditation extends the study of impermanence from the breath to the body in motion. In walking, breath and movement synchronize. Wind inside wind, body as rhythmic field. Impermanence becomes global. Each step reveals change in pressure, weight, contact, and tension. The breath remains companion rather than object. Impermanence becomes the object. Walking is the wind body in motion. It is impermanence expanded into space. The continuous tetrad, the cycle, the condor, the wind path. The 16 steps are not separate compartments, but a single aerodynamic curve. A long inhalation from body to feeling to mind to dharmas. Each tetrad is a wing. The practice flies only when all four wings are engaged. The entire sequence can be completed in one sitting. Repetition deepens the groove of attention. The practitioner becomes like the condor in the simile, high enough to glide over landscape of mind, steady enough to feel every shift of wind. The anapanasati is a flight path of awakening. The breath is the wind that bears the practitioner across the mountains of the mind. The breath state, body culture, resistance in the inner republic of chi. The body is the first political terrain. Cultural anthropology rediscovers the normal. One cultivates chi to step beyond the world's encirclement. The disciplined body, state, surveillance, containment. Every modern state begins in the flesh. It disciplines the body before it persuades the mind, staging its sovereignty across muscle, membranes, and everyday gestures. The bus packed with 10 bodies per square meter is not only a transportation problem, but a diagram of political intimacy. Pressure, contact, breath condensed into social order. Mao swimming across the Yangtze was less a man in water than the state's musculature performing itself. A choreography of sovereignty enacted through flesh. The socialist body is a bureaucratic body, each organ likened to an official, each function a form of administrative circulation. Health becomes a metaphor for governance, and governance a metaphor for physiology. Discipline enters through posture, breath alignment. The state colonizes the somatic before the symbolic. The unbound body, trance, possession, ecstasy as resistance. Bodies that enter trance or possession are not escaping society. They are escaping the grammar of discipline. Ecstasy is the insurgence of form. In state of spirit possession, factory discipline falters. The body no longer keeps the rhythms of production, but the rhythm of a different cosmology. Illness, hallucination, erratic gestures, these can become counter-state speech acts when ordinary language has been exhausted by repression. possession rituals, ecstatic healing, the trance states open temporarily autonomous zones within the flesh where the state has no jurisdiction. Resistance sometimes appears as madness because the disciplined body has forgotten how to interpret its own ungoverned movements. The inner and outer body, Taoist, Chinese medical, energetic topologies. Traditional Chinese medicine does not divide mind and body, but divides inner and outer, the Ni and the Wei, as dynamic portals rather than anatomical partitions. The inner body is a republic of winds, fire, flows, the outer body a facade built for the state, workplace, and family. Two sovereignties share one skin. Taoist alchemy reorganizes the inner body as a political exile, an alternative state formed in secret, ruled by breath, intention, and visualization. Cultivation of qi is not medical technique, but a metaphysical migration, an exit from the social world into the elemental domains. Where biomedicine imposes anatomical certainty, qi practice dissolves boundary into energetic possibility. Body culture, urban pressure, collective practices, park ecologies. In crowded cities, parks become sanctuaries for self-cultivation, micro-republics where the citizens may resemble the fragmented self. Disco dance groups, Taji circles, elderly walkers, Qigong meditators, each practice transforms public space into a laboratory of the self. The body's culture emerges not from philosophy, but from exhaustion. City life's density forces the invention of new bodily techniques of survival. These practices reconfigure social relations. Strangers become co-breathers, fellow dancers, co-inhabitants of ephemeral healing space. Urban parks are the heterotopias where the socialist body loosens and the inner body resurfaces. All right, that is the end of part 5 for now of the Pneuma of Charlie Kirk, Miasma, Warfare, and the Sovereignty of Breath. You can check out my art at zuccagallery.com. You can go into my gallery in downtown Phoenix at 1301 Grand. I'll see you guys later.